Here's another market update for this week. We're coming closer to the end of October and of course to the end of the year. Let's see what we are dealing with. Right off the bat, we have gold. The last 2 weeks haven't done anything. We are staying here below this balance zone. We dropped through it quite a bit. This fractal at that area stopped us out of everything that was a long position. We do not want to be in a market that is not on top of the balance zone with a long position. We also don't want to be short yet because the overall trending time frame, or the overall time frame just in general, it's not yet a trend, is above the balance zone here on the monthly. My guess is still that we will see this price more or less failing here somewhere in that area, and then we get the balance zone again as the most important support zone, and then a rise to the upside as this fractal here on the monthly gets taken. 1375, that is the very most important resistance as of now. Maybe this will turn into support as we are heading out. Let's see if this is going to happen. Most likely the weekly will show us a fractal somewhere in here, maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower, as this turns, comes down and then hits that breakout. We do need patience here. Who knows if this is even going to happen until the end of the year. This would then have been what gold has done this year. The rest is just more or less nothing. Let's see if any major news can change the behavior of this market here. I'm guessing again that this is the turnaround place. Let's take a look at a very important development that we were waiting for a long time now. Euro dollar and other euro pairs as well. We do have a breakout to the downside now. Remember, we were saying that here we have already taken a short all of these weeks. We'd stayed short and now we get the breakout to the downside. We are even closing below this most outside fractal of the bracketed market. We have a demand zone coming in down here, but if we zoom in even more on a, let's switch the time frame here to the monthly, what we see is an ongoing downtrend. First leg correction, and maybe now even a leg all the way down to here. The parity area will also be of importance. We do have, so to speak, 3 or 4 kind of target areas, and we have to see how price behaves as it tries to move through it. Again, this one right here where the previous lows are, and if we take it, if we move through the parity state, then we might as well hit those 2 demand zones down here. We don't know if such a huge trend will be what follows this major market movement again. Usually you do see a major correction in between such huge legs of trends. This has not happened here. If you take a look at that monthly, you get the trend, but all of this is an internal correction. We didn't even significantly close inside the balance zone or even hit the upper border of the balance zone. We are staying, or we have been trading into it relatively from a low kind of state here, moving sideways into the balance zone. No abrupt movement into or to the upside of it. So we follow the market again. We are selling here in the euro pairs, and we are just now waiting for what is going to happen as these important areas get taken. The euro Australian shows us the same scenario. We are broken through the sideways movement to the downside now. The close is not as convincing in this market, but it doesn't really matter. The candle is closing on top of the breakout level. This is the weekly chart. The monthly will show you what kind of potential this market has. Again, you have your downtrend, you have your major correction, which is important, and now in October we have hit the breakout fractal to the downside, and it's very likely now that we are hitting the 115 area, currently trading at 143. and this will give us the divergence down here in the oscillator. Let's see if this is going to happen. This will be, if it takes place, a really long trend, probably half a year or a year, and we don't know what kind of characteristics this trend will show. It might be thankful, it might not be thankful. We are following the system, the strategy that we're employing. We do see new developments in some indices here. The German DAX is just about to break out. Let's remove what we have in the chart right now, and let's insert the newest information here, the breakout at that area, and of course we do have potential to hit this 12.4 price level up here at the last all-time high. We don't know if this is really going to take place, or if this is just a huge correction that eventually will where the upside breakouts fail and then we're coming down again. But for now we have this breakout to the long side, and on the monthly chart what we see is that we are above the balance zone, so we are trading with this long. We are trading into the direction of the overall path of least resistance, if you will, where the price is moving, and that is to the upside. On the monthly we have a major correction, so maybe a whole new move starts, or maybe this correction isn't over yet. We have no idea. Let's simply wait how this pans out. The Japanese market, the index, the Nikkei, on the monthly, I really enjoy this. We have this huge uptrend, and now the correction that has been going nowhere for the last couple of months in here. We have a major correction in the oscillator as well, and now we're headed out. There is no fractal on the monthly. This is a correction of all of the previous uptrend. As I've explained the last time, every time you get the major correction, it corrects all of the previous move. So now it should logically follow, if you pay some attention to market structure, that we do get a new high, giving us the divergence. Maybe even a completely new move to the upside. We don't really know. If we zoom into the monthly chart, we surely enough have much room left for this to trade to the upside. We have a supply coming in at that area. We have been feeding off that supply as we are trading in this correction here the last couple of months. But at some point this supply will be eaten up completely, and then we'll find demand down here, and prices could move all the way to almost 40,000 here in the Nikkei index. This is the long-term perspective, of course. We just want to get on board on the weekly and trade the inside of those market movements. We do have a breakout fractal hit on the weekly, which is below this supply zone from the monthly chart. Right there would be your breakout. It has been hit. We have closed above it. Let's see if there will be some follow through throughout the next couple of weeks. Now I lost the awesome oscillator again. I don't know why it does that. Now we'll have it inserted back again, and now we have two. I don't know why. Alright, and now for the situation in the US indices, we have the Dow Jones still inside the balance zone. Fractal has not been hit. We are long from the breakout, but I don't see too much strength in here. I don't see prices wanting to head out. The same is true for the S&P. The Nasdaq is showing a little bit of a different picture. When you take a look, the weekly chart is staying above the balance zone. It has been staying above the balance zone. We do not get this weird side move stuff inside of it. So we do still have enough strength in this market. It should be really interesting until the end of the year to see if the S&P and the Dow will pick up the direction to the upside again. Nasdaq simply keeps it, or if the Nasdaq is also going to fold and we are seeing a major correction going on. It's very unclear right now. Remember, the monthly situation is different in the US indices than it is in the German or the European ones, as well as the Nikkei. We do have the possibility of a divergence forming. You have this huge trend, but only a minor correction in here, and now we are continuing up. I mean, nobody knows how far this is going to go, but at some point we are being delivered divergences, and that could mean that the market is going to head downwards, or at least lose some steam to the upside, okay? US dollar pairs and the US dollar index are delivering some very important new developments. Again, here a previous uptrend is being corrected. We are looking for some breadth inside the balance zone. A minor correction has unfolded, but now we seem to continue upwards. If we look at the weekly chart, we have breakouts taken, and we are closing above the breakouts for the week. Let's see where we are going here. US dollar index does the same. US dollar yen is kind of on the same way as well. Of course, British pound Australian is also very important to us. This is almost not even worth talking about though, since we are simply in this downtrend. Now we have a green candle, a small one this week. We might trade up to the previous sorry, the previous breakout level, and then resume the downtrend to the next demand zone. Let's see if this will happen. We are just holding it, okay? So again, it should be clear how important patience is. We are trading the longer term. We do want to collect thousands of pips on multiple positions in a trend that is running, and all the rest of the positions is simply like dipping the foot in the water and looking or checking out if there is some development going on that is worth piling onto the position. We do not want to push the market. We want to wait for it to show us that it really wants to go. And when this is the case, we do add on with small positions. So as it runs for thousands of pips, these small positions will actually grow exponentially and will make an exponential difference in the account, since all of the positions are only entered with 1% risk. If you have something running and it gives you a 4 or 5 times your risk, your risk reward ratio is really, really good, and you will make up for most of the losses that you have suffered. The more of these trends and the longer they run, the more we can put on positions that are working. We are sticking to them. We are only getting rid of the stuff that is not working, and right now it's looking pretty good. We just want to hold on most of the stuff that we have until the end of the year. Let's see if there will be some new positions we can initiate, for example DAX, for example Nikkei, which has already been hit. Thank you very much for watching the weekly recap again. Like the video if you like it, and post a comment.